Hey y'all, welcome to Maya Makes It. So today is a very special day. Do you know why? It's the very first episode of Maya Makes It. So in honor of a very special day, I thought we would start with one of my favorite recipes that's near and dear to my heart. It actually was passed down to me from my grandmother, and it's her 7-Up cake. Okay, so let's get started. For the 7-Up cake, the first step we're gonna do is cream together our butter and our sugar. So I already have 3 cups of granulated sugar measured out into our mixing bowl, and then we're gonna add in our butter. So it's important that your butter is softened already. So don't skip this step. Don't think like, oh, I can make it by if I just pop it in the microwave. It does need to be softened, but not melted. So that good in between. And I'm using unsalted butter for this. And so we're just gonna add that in, and then we can cream the two together. All right, so that looks good. We want it to look fluffy and creamed together. That's perfect. Okay, so now that we've creamed together our butter and our sugar, we're gonna add in our eggs. So I like to crack them into a separate bowl, and it just makes it easier to add them into your mixture. So for this step, you wanna add in the eggs one at a time. And so it's great if you put them in a bowl that has a lip like this, or even if you do like a measuring cup, that way you can pour them in. All of our eggs have been incorporated into our batter, and so the next step is to add in the flour and the star of the show, the 7-Up. So I'm going to use 3 cups of all-purpose flour and then a cup or 8 ounces of 7-Up. Okay, so now that we've completely added in the flour and the 7-Up, this comes possibly the hardest part of this whole cake process. So we're going to let the cake mix. And I know you're gonna be like, that seems like a really long time, but you have to let it just sit on the stand and mix for a good like 10 minutes. Now I think this was my grandmother's like secret ingredient or secret step to making this cake so soft and moist, like when you bite into it, it almost melts in your mouth. It's pretty amazing. And so she would just let it mix on the stand and walk away, maybe tidy up around the kitchen or do something else in the house and give it its time to just work its magic. So that's what we're gonna do, and we're just gonna leave it on the stand, and I'll check back in with you guys in about 10 minutes. All right, so this is what we're looking for. It's been about 10 minutes and our batter is this pale kind of white color and it's very fluffy looking. So all we have to do now is add in our very last ingredient, and that is the lemon extract. So we're just gonna do a tablespoon of the lemon extract. You can also do orange extract if that's what you have in your pantry at home, that works too. So we're gonna add that in and it's gonna mix just for a few more seconds until it's incorporated. Okay, so our lemon extract is fully incorporated, and so now we're ready to put this thing in the oven. But one of the perks of being the person cooking it is that I get to taste it as I go, right? So we'll just, yes, perfect. You get that lemony flavor already from the 7-Up and the lemon extract. Now, I don't advise that you do this at home, but if you're like me, you could just go in again. It's good. That's good stuff. It's time to prep our pan. So I love to use a bundt pan for this. It produces a really pretty shape when we pop our cake out of it, right? It's what my grandmother always did, so that's what we're gonna do. And then I love to use this spray also. And so it's actually oil and flour already mixed in together. So you can also use just a non-stick cooking spray, or my grandmother's tradition, her step was to coat your pan with a little bit of oil and then dust it with flour. So you can do that as well, just to make sure that your cake pops out easily. Okay, so now that all of our batter is in the pan, we're just gonna kind of smooth it out so that that top will lay nicely. So our batter is in the pan, and now here comes the hardest part of this whole process, waiting for it to bake. It takes an hour and 15 minutes. I know, an hour and 15 minutes, but it's okay. We can make it through, I promise. So we're gonna pop this in the oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 75 minutes. And then I do have a couple of tips for you guys to fill the time. So as promised, I have a very simple recipe that you can put together while your cake is baking in the oven. So to stay kind of in our theme of our lemony lime 7-Up cake, I thought we'd make a limeade, kind of to hold on to summer just a little bit longer. So I already have a few things assembled that we're going to need. So I have our lemons and our limes laid out, and then we have a very simple syrup that I already threw together, and that just consists of about 2 cups of sugar and 3 cups of water boiled down until your sugar completely dissolves. So here's a tip I learned. If you don't have a juicer at home, no worries. You can just grab a pair of tongs and then cut your limes in half, or your lemon, and if you place it in between, you can just press and it'll allow you to squeeze that juice out of there. So now that we have our lemon and our lime juice all squeezed, we're gonna add everything into our pitcher. So I have 3 cups of water in our pitcher. I'm gonna pour in our lemon and lime juice mixture. It smells amazing already. And then we're gonna add in our simple syrup. So this is cooled completely. So I made this earlier in the day today, and then I let it cool. So you're just gonna add that in. We're going to stir. So I'm gonna grab a spoon, and we're gonna mix this all up together. That's it, it's done, it's ready to drink. So you can feel free to double this recipe if you're making it for a big party or a gathering, but it's just me today, so I'm gonna pour it up in our nice cute mason jar here. And then I'm gonna add in our straw. And just like that, you have a super simple, refreshing limeade. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, perfect. It's sweet, but still tart at the same time. Amazing. Okay, so our cake has come out of the oven and it's been cooling for about 20 minutes. You wanna make sure that you let it cool enough so that it does flip out of the pan easily. So this is the moment of truth. We're gonna flip it and we're gonna see how this goes. So cross your fingers. Beautiful, just like that. So our final step is to add the icing on top. So this is a very simple icing. It's just a mixture of about half a cup of powdered sugar and a tablespoon or so of lemon juice. So I like to add a little bit of lemon juice at a time. That way you don't get it too thick or too runny. And so you're just gonna drizzle this right on top. Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so this is it. We get to taste it, right? It's super soft. It's delicious as always. This cake is a staple in our household. I literally get asked to bring it to any event that we're having, a party or a gathering, and it's a hit every time. I was just thinking about when I make this cake, I always feel a little bit closer to my grandmother. I think I was about 10 when she introduced me to this recipe, and it's still just as good. Now you know what would make this even better? If you added a scoop of ice cream. Now if you're in Texas like me, you know that means Bluebell. All right, so that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content of me cooking in the kitchen. Go ahead and share this video and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Follow me on Instagram for more videos of me cooking in the kitchen, and I'll see you guys next week.